Hello and welcome back, everybody. I am Zingle, and today joining me it will be Hachiko. You there? Oh, well, we will be
Oh,
bringing.
I'm here. I thought my mic was still muted. Oops.
Well, today we will be bringing you the game between Rutgers and Tulsa. This is the Week 10 match for the Dota 2 League. What do we know about these teams? Do we know too
All
much?
right, first for you guys, I'm gonna do a nice intro for Rutgers because I was a former member of the team. This is a completely new squad, and they're having a pretty good season right now, 8-1. And I believe you did cast their one loss, and I talked to one of their players, and they blamed it on playing with stand-ins. It's they have international students, a lot of them from China. I believe 4 out of 5 of them are from China, and they're pretty high MMR players, individually skilled. And for Tulsa, they're gonna have a pretty hard time, but they're no joke either. They're about 5K MMR, middle of the road team, and let's see if they can face off against Rutgers and give them a run for their money.
All right, looks like it'll be an exciting match ahead of us today. As always, we would love to thank our sponsors. We would not be where we are today without them. Band Gaming. Band Gaming is a social app and a primary social app of the CSL community, with many features such as creating groups, boards, calendars, functions, polls, chats, and as of recently, call functionality. Band has become a premier social experience for you and your fellow gamers. Find out more at band.us/home or find them on the Google Play or Apple Store. Won't make you friends, but it'll definitely help keep them. You can find us at the CSL community at band.us/@CStarLeague. And if you're looking to catch an admin and haven't had a chance to talk to one yet, you can find them at that site from Mondays 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific time. Furthermore, we would love to thank our sponsor, Twitch. As always, we have nothing but insane amount of gratitude for the largest streaming platform in gaming to support the Collegiate Star League. From PAX East and West and many other CSL or many other events, the CSL would not be what it is today without the help and support of them. Be on the lookout for cool opportunities to get involved with Twitch in the near future, and be sure to follow them on their sites, twitter.com/twitch and facebook.com/twitch. And last but not least, we would love to welcome ASUS to the CSL family for the 2016-2017 season. They are the provider of everything esports, from all their wonderful products such as monitors, laptops, routers, graphics cards, motherboards, and more. Don't enter your battle without being equipped by ASUS. And with the game starting up very shortly, we're going to give you a quick word from our sponsor and then jump right into the draft. Thank you very much.
Ben, Sam, and Ken are on separate journeys to defeat the menacing Vile Dragon. But let's just say luck isn't on their side. If only there was a way for them to find each other and band together. Well, that's why there's Band. It's a mobile app that allows people to come together using common interests. With Band, you can find fellow gamers, chat, schedule gaming sessions, and conduct polls. Stage epic battles with friends while sharing videos and photos along the way. So try Band today. Band. Be together.
Alrighty, here we are. Draft is underway. This is game one. Once again, Tulsa versus Rutgers. Should be a good match. Both of these teams are pretty evenly comparable with their record so far. Rutgers, like you were saying, they had a little mishap last week with the stand-in situation, but they're showing that they are not the losing team of this bracket.
Yeah, this is a classic matchup in the East Coast. Tulsa being one of the stronger teams, but they always find themselves about in the middle of the road pretty much, but they're no joke either. So let's see what Rutgers decides to go with this game. They tend to not practice very much, I believe.
Look at these
So they
bands coming out.
rely a lot on their just individual skill, make up stuff as they go. And
Right,
that seems to be a common theme with a lot of CSL teams.
definitely. So with these first bans, we see a Shadow Demon ban, which, I mean, that's kind of been in the meta for the first phase at least, because it combos so well with Luna and all these other, like, 4-position stunners. But then we see a first ban Meepo from Tulsa. Is that a targeted ban for Rutgers player? I'd have to assume they've did their research and saw that one of
They
the...
did play it. I believe you cast that game, right?
Did I? I do not
Yeah,
remember.
yeah. I think, yeah, it was. It was in that game. They picked it game 2, and it was played by
WWW.
WWW, I believe.
Did they win that game?
No, they lost.
Okay.
They went
Interesting.
for the 2 Wraith Band and Ghost Scepter build. I remember that.
Yeah.
Maybe that would spec your memory, right?
Yeah.
It
Well,
was like interesting stat-based build, but
they're still showing that that player, at least that hero, is at least causing a little bit of fear still. So the respect ban coming out. Further bans, Luna and Invoker, also very common picks. Invoker is pretty much always been a strong hero, and in this patch, you know, he still has a spot. So I'm all right with seeing that ban come out.
Dire team pick.
alright, Ember coming first pick from Rutgers.
Yeah, that's once again another hero. We've seen it almost first phase picked or banned in basically every series so far. The hero offers a lot. It's really strong in the early game, which it seems like this meta is somewhat revolved around that early game, early tempo heroes, and with the new
5 seconds remaining.
magic damage veil build, it is that role perfectly, or fits that role perfectly.
Reserve
And then we
time.
see Tulsa counter with a Void. This is most likely going to be an offlane Void. We've seen it in safe lane every once in a while, but with that Chrono lockdown and just providing some sort of
Radiant
AoE
team
disable for your carry really to do work, that's, I think, the role it feels best, but we'll see.
That's not a hero we see a lot at all.
Nope.
In the recent patch, he fell off. Even the last patch, he just kind of fell out of favor. He was one of those
10
top heroes,
seconds
but
remaining.
just as the meta started speeding up, his Chronosphere just had too long of a cooldown.
Yeah, having the almost 2-minute full cooldown to your Forest again Magnum Scepter if you want to be kind of brawling non-stop like the meta, you know, requires. But, you know, it does have a role still, and they pick Slark into it. So now Faceless doesn't only do well against Ember Spirit, because obviously you can't Remnant or Sleight of Fist out of a Void Chrono, but Slark does traditionally poorly against Void, because if you get caught in that Chrono, you can't just ult out and escape, you can't just invis out and escape. So the naturally, you know, escapable carry becomes very susceptible to dying. And then with Slardar Amplify, that could, you know, be a 3-position or a 4-position, as we've seen it so much. That's really a risky 1-2 punch from Rutgers. I'm sure they have something in mind, though, but...
Especially picking a Slark this early. It's an interesting move. We don't see that done too often, but they might be afraid that it would get banned out in the second banning phase.
Absolutely. Speaking of
It's
this,
quite common with a lot of these teams, 'cause they just find Slark to be a hard hero to deal with. So regardless of the meta or patch or anything, she just tends to get banned out a lot in these games.
right. And then speaking of that second phase of bans, we see an Underlord ban, a Nyx ban, and an OD ban. Those are usually heroes that you see closer to the first phase, and I'm surprised Underlord didn't get picked up because it's been so highly sought after and contested in that first round. Do these teams not really care about it? They have their own strats already. Like, the 1-2 pick of the most likely 1-2 roles from Rutgers kind of implies that they don't really care about their offlane getting a good matchup as much as they're just getting their favorable comfort heroes.
I think they're just favoring the OP heroes right now, for sure, on the side of Rutgers. And for Tulsa, it feels like they have some bigger strategy plan with the Void.
Yeah. So, with the Slardar Void picked up, that's not a very traditional combo, because there's not too much synergy with a melee hero of Slardar and the Chrono, but, you know, it could very easily be followed up by, you know, a Lone Druid, a Sniper, something like that. That'll give a outside of tower, or outside of Chrono damage.
Dire team pick.
Alright, Ogre, Maga, and Lion coming out.
Both teams doubling back and trying to get their supports right now. They realize not really any supports have been banned other than the Shadow Demon, but with the cores already being picked up now, it's a mad dash for the good supports that have stuns, that have disables, that have that damage or amplify potential. So
Yeah, Ogre, Maga is a Storm Soldat specialty. When I played on the team with him, well, we would tell him to just run down mid and feed and create space, and then we'd pick Io, relocate, counter gank, and just win the game like that. Let's
Insider
see if
info
there's going to
here.
be some running down mid and feeding from Ogre this game. I mean, if it can make space for Ember and Slark to get a good initiation, it works. It's a very tanky hero, deceptively tanky.
So, as a former Rutgers player, what do you predict that they're going to go for here?
Radiant team.
Has their strategy changed much from when you've been there, or is it pretty
It's
standard?
almost completely changed pretty much, but the only member that was kept the same is Storm Soldat.
Oh, okay. So it's just the
So
one man remaining.
yeah, it's one man remaining. It's a lot. Their strategies are a lot different because
5
when we
seconds
played, we
remaining.
relied a lot more on teamwork, and since they have like higher MMR players, 6K Chinese players, they're just
Reserve
gonna
time.
rely on their individual skill, picking Ember and Slark in the first phase.
Alrighty. Well, we see Tulsa go back for another support, so that will most likely be a Slardar off lane and a safe lane Void with support Dazzle, support Lion. I do like Dazzle and Slardar together. It is a lot of AoE minus armor, so if anybody is caught in that chrono and Void just wails away at them, and they already have the Weave and Corrosive Haze on them, they will just die quickly. There's potential.
So it looks like it's gonna be Void safe lane
Right.
at this point.
Definitely a good matchup against the Slark. You will get the damage, so you will be able to solo kill Slark for most of the game if you get a good laning phase, and same goes for Ember. Neither of them are particularly tanky, but as I say that, now Rutgers picks the Oracle, which is a pretty nice counter to that Void. As long as Oracle stays far enough back so he doesn't get caught, he can save any of his carries from that Chrono Burst combo, and then heal him right back to full.
And you could remove the corrosive haze as well into them.
That's true. Oracle has a purge, and Oracle has a disable or a disarm. So if Void's wailing away and he can't actually use his ult because it's on cooldown for whatever reason, you can just disarm the Void. So
And right now he's their only real damage inside of Chrono, other than like Lion shooting a finger into there or something.
so now that Tulsa's onto their last pick, they are looking to go for a mid hero. Rutgers most likely looking for an off laner, and both teams most likely going to understand this and ban out their respective role. What do you think so far of this draft, though? Like, the Rutgers seems to have a more survivable team with the saves from Oracle, with the natural survivability and escape from Slark and Ember, and they seem to have that really strong like mid-game tempo. However, Tulsa, if they get a good mid laner that can combo up with that Void, they can kind of just sit behind Void and just walk at them, and there's not really too much Rutgers could do about that. Because you don't really want to fight into a Void if you have that hero to follow it up. And with Slardar, Lion, and Dazzle like on the back lines, you're probably not going to kill the Void. And you might lose other heroes
10
while you're
seconds
being
remaining.
distracted.
Yeah, Rutgers team fighting is pretty weak right now, and even their split pushing,
Mm-hmm.
Tulsa do have answers to it. So I would favor the draft slightly for Tulsa. It will depend on this offlaner pick, and I believe TCMC is a Void player, so it might have been a block pick, picking that faces Void in the first phase.
That's very true. So we see the Sand King banned up, as expected, ban a team fighting offlaner. And then an Alchemist banned up from Tulsa. That's kind of interesting because it's a melee hero that won't really combo well with the Void, but Void and the rest of the team will buy a lot of space for Alchemist, and they don't have the best way to deal with it.
Alright, while you were talking there, I was about to say Axe, but he comes out already.
Yep.
It's pretty standard counter to Dazzle as a offlaner that does okay against Void.
10 seconds
And he
remaining.
does decent against any melee. But if both supports stay there, he's probably going to be forced to jungle, and that's
Yeah.
most likely what he'll do.
Axe does well against Dazzle in that you can dunk through the shallow grave. However, Dazzle does well against Axe in the laning phase because you just heal bomb the creeps that he's trying to spin off of, and you'll just hurt him and almost kill him.
10
And then with
seconds
any sort of
remaining.
follow-up from Lion and Void, Axe probably won't be able to lane comfortably top. So,
5 seconds
wouldn't be surprised to
remaining.
see him just fall back to the jungle early on, get some levels, and then once the supports leave, they go in. And there's the last pick. Tulsa goes for the Storm mid. Storm does okay against Ember because you can just burst down that Flame Shield early on. You're not going to be harassed out that quickly. And I guess it combos alright with the Chrono. You can zip through it, get your damage, get your Remnant dropped, and then kill anybody in the backline. So jump onto that Oracle before he can do anything.
I would say Ember is the superior hero this patch, though, just by far. in both the mid matchup and just one-on-one throughout the game, because the root does cancel Storm's ball lightning, and Storm takes a bit too long to come online. Like, by the time Ember is ready to fight, Storm is just wanting to farm.
Alright, well I'm going to restart my game really quick. I think you took camera control again by accident, but we'll see.
Oh. The game is paused right now, so...
Right. So, while the game's paused up, we'll do the intros in a second. I want to see if I have camera control still or if there is a Dota bug. And if not, it seems like Hachiko will be on the cameraman.
Like, do I move the camera, or... Like, do you see my camera move?
Hold on.
I don't think that... Alright.
I'm launching it up and we'll find out momentarily. Alright, so I can now control the camera.
Yeah, I
right
see
before, I could not control it. Yeah, okay, that works. So it was just a little bug, and now we are in. During the pause, I will go ahead and introduce the teams. On the side of Rutgers, we have Storm Soldat on the Oracle. We have how do you say that name? Tismic? TisMC?
TCMC, that's what
TissyMC, alright. We got TissyMC on the offlane Axe. We have DNE on Ogre Magi, WWW on the carry Slark, and SSR on the mid Ember Spirit. There is a profanity being drawn by a player, WWW, but we will ignore that and go ahead and introduce the Dire Squad of Tulsa. We have GBPS on the Storm Spirit. We have Ice9 on the carry Void. JD on the offlane Slardar. Rua Baby on the support Lion. And Mongoloid. Yeah, his name is actually just Mongoloid on the support Dazzle.
Alright, so we won't get to see a Storm Soldat Ogre, because Ogre is going to take the 4 role here, and he is the 5 player, so he's going to be playing Oracle.
Alright. Neither team prioritizing TPing out to the wave to put down a ward, so they're both just walking out. There will be a ward coming out from the Dire side into the off lane. It won't be scouted. I think everybody's just content sitting back and getting their runes and being fairly passive in these lanes.
Wait.
What's up?
Alright, Rutgers doesn't have a courier. I got some insider information. Someone just messaged me. No one actually bought the courier.
Well, this is a huge miscommunication and error from the side of Rutgers. Both supports opting to go, a little bit greedy, get the wards, get the extra sentries, and get the Windlace. And now it looks like that Storm Soldat will be running back and getting a courier? Maybe not.
He had it queued up for a bit. Someone else bought it.
Yeah, the Slark with the bounty rune bought the courier. He understands the value of it, and lanes are underway. It seems like Axe might actually start in the lane, so we'll see how this goes. I'm predicting that he might die, but we'll see. Maybe he has something up his sleeve.
Alright, salvaged, but that means that Ember's salve is going to arrive pretty late, but that's not the biggest deal.
Mm-hmm. Solid block from Axe, and he's going to sit back and hope the wave gets pushed out to him, but if there is any sort of pull reaction from the Dire squad, I don't think Axe will get
also,
much.
overlay.
Overlay? I did do the overlay.
I got message with overlay. Let me check the stream.
What? The overlay's fine. Anywho, mid lane Storm will be winning this matchup.
Maybe it's delayed, I don't know.
There is a delay, but I mean, there's no overlay error.
Alright.
Anywho, mid lane, it looks like it will be in favor of Storm Spirit so far. This first wave, he is pretty well off. He's getting denies, he's getting last hits. Bottom lane, Slardar won't be getting anything. He's sitting at 0 CS. Top lane, Axe will be getting a creep wave under his tower with 2 range creep, so he will be getting some XP here, but his CS is still sitting pretty low.
No, they find the D ward on the ward bot.
Yeah, some solid play. That sentry ward does get most of the offlane typical ward, so good job.
I'm surprised how much Axe is getting out of this lane.
Yeah, he got the lane pulled back to him, so he's already at level 2.5. And right now, even if the supports cover this lane and start pulling every time, he could just fall back to the jungle and be content here.
They do have 2 stuns here from the Lion. Oh no, he goes for mana drain, level 2. So yeah, there's no way he's dying.
And Dazzle tanking the creep wave down to half health, but no more action's going to be going on top. Mid lane there will be a gank from Storm Soldat to try to help out his mid laner, but no kills are going to be coming out of this. I don't really expect too many kills in this early game. There's not that much kill potential unless somebody is far out of position. And speaking of out of position, this Slardar just slithers right into the enemy side, takes their bounty rune and just walks away. Doesn't get punished for it at all, and since he can't lane, he figures may as well get some money from that.
He's gonna try to gank mid.
Yeah. He will get a pull onto the Ember Spirit. The Remnant will not connect. There will be some right clicks coming out, and with that last second Searing Chains and a miss uphill from the Storm Spirit, he'll get away with 50 health. Ogre
I don't
and
think it was
Oracle
enough
coming back
either
in.
way.
I don't know. It depends how much armor with the shield. Yeah, with the shield and his 3 armor, probably wouldn't have killed him. But regardless, lucky play from them and good rotations out of the supports to just make sure nothing happens by, some sort of fluke. However, if we look at the CS, it does seem to be pretty even. Slark is only 3 CS ahead of the Dire carry. The mid lanes are within 2 CS of each other, and the only disparity really comes from the Slardar having 0 CS still against Axe's 7. So it's really a much harder lane for him bottom than we really thought it was going to be. Some good jukes coming out, but he does get a stun onto Slark before the pounce comes up. The shackle will be there, followed by the pounce and the stun. It looks like JD will be going down for the first blood, going the way of Storm Soldat. So possible return kill here. The Salve heals him up. He has 5 health when he gets away there. Slark does have to waste his Salve, but it's not a waste if you live there. Good play, good reactions.
If you went for the 2-1 build,
Who did?
if the Lion went for 2 and Earth Spike, that would have been a kill for sure, but he went 1-1-1.
Yeah, the damage was just a little bit off. It's unfortunate, but sometimes you're not expecting them to salve up and get that 5 extra health, so...
Okay, this is more like a passive build. Sit in the lane for a while, maybe sap up mana on the creeps, but if he was expecting to play more aggressive early, he would went for 2 and Earth Spike there.
Absolutely. Looking at mid lane, there are pings coming out. However, there are supports on both sides backing up the mid laner. With a double damage rune on Ember, they might be looking for something a little bit more aggressive, but the Ember at level 4 doesn't really have the best kill potential. So I wouldn't be surprised just to see both of these supports just kind of back off and let their mids just have a 1v1 battle.
I wouldn't talk about this much in the drafting stage, but in terms of having counters to Slark, Dire has a lot of that on
Counters to
Tulsa. Slark.
Slark?
Yeah, all 3 of their cores match up very well against Slark.
That's true. Jump in from Storm having a instant shackle or like sheep or silence of some sort, and before he can get off the dark pack, you can just burst down the Slark. Once again, that Void Chrono and the track both working wonders. So
It's not an easy Slark game, but he is going for some new meta build here.
what does he have?
It's
He's
some
going
BSJ inspired.
right for a blade
Blade
mail.
mail.
Interesting. I've never seen this. Literally, have never seen this before. So we'll see it here first. We'll see how it works out. Maybe he's just looking to be a little more annoying in these fights. If, like we were saying, if the cores match up very nicely against him, you just pop that blade mail and say, "Hi, you can't kill me now." And if you do, you're just gonna die for it. Meanwhile, mid JD is somehow level 4 despite only having
Top
5
as well,
CS.
TMC will go down. Counter kill coming out from Storm Soldat.
And meanwhile, mid, it looks like it will be a kill onto the Ember Spirit. He will dodge with the Sleight of Fist Chains, and then he will do a Searing Chains to keep him locked down. So sorry, Sleight of Fist to dodge and then Searing Chains. He will get away from that gank. And then yes, there was a 1v1 or 1-for-1 top. Axe going down and Lion going down as well. So pretty big win from Radiant squad here of Rutgers. They don't lose their Ember mid, and they do get, I guess Axe does go down, but they get a return kill for it, so not all is lost. They're up 2-1. Their Slark is farming quite well. He's getting most of the CS in the lane, and he is almost level 6 now. Once Slark hits level 6, you are just a menace in your lane. You can't really 1v1 anymore, because he'll just trade with you and he'll back up immediately after.
I wonder where he's gonna go after this blade mail.
I'd hope and I'd imagine that he just fights non-stop with it, because Blade Mail does not give you any sort of farming potential. It does not really give you any sort of ganking potential. It just lets you kind of walk in and fight with your team. And that's most likely the strat coming out of Radiant Squad. We did say that that Ember Spirit does favor that early tempo kind of brawl. And same with the Axe. Once you get that Blink Dagger, or in his case he's going for a Vanguard, he'll just be able to walk in and kind of fight back against the Dire Squad.
Yeah, Storm can't fight until a bit later on. He has to use a lot of his mana to get these kills, and then even then he can get rooted up by the Ember, causing him to die.
So both of the carries do hit level 6. There will be a defensive ult coming out of the Slark and a very offensive ult coming out of the Void. So it is possible that they're looking for a kill here onto Axe, but once Void gets level 6, he's just been sitting under tower. He's been playing it extra careful, and he does not want to lose a kill that easily.
Our Void is going for a Midas as well, so if Rutgers' strategy is just to group up and fight early, they definitely have the opportunity.
Right. There is a smoke gank coming out of the Rutgers squad. Storm Soldat and Ogre will be having their smokes popped onto Lion. There will be a full disable from the Oracle, but Ogre will get the stun off, so that is a kill onto the Lion. Slardar also dies bottom to the solo Slark, but there is a Chrono Top onto 3. Axe misses his call. Storm comes in, does manage to finish off the Oracle, and he gets dunked right down. The Shallow Grave isn't going to save him for long. Ogre is running away with that extra movement speed from the dunk, but he will not get away from Void's Time Walk. And now they're looking for another kill on Axe, but Axe is level 7. Axe has the Berserker call, and he'll just get bashed up twice right there, so...
Oh! Being saved there by Oracle, turning it around.
Axe has 20 health, he will heal up a little bit, he will get the triple kill from Storm Soldat. Incredible turnaround there. Axe just barely lives, gets double bashed during his call, but he does not die, and Storm Soldat TP's in after dying to save the day. So at the end, that's a 5-for-1, I believe, with Slardar also dying bottom. Huge victory for that early game Radiant squad, and after that, Slark has his Blade Mail complete. Ember Spirit is most likely going to be going a Veil, but he does not have it yet. But Axe also is going for his Blink Dagger now. He changed plans. He got all that money from the fight, so he doesn't want to go for those smaller components of the Vanguard. And he just wants to help his team brawl.
He's so high level right now. It doesn't need the Vanguard to help him tank up.
And if you look at the net worth, like the 3 cores from the Radiant squad of Rutgers are far ahead of their counterparts. Slark is almost 1,000 ahead of Void. Ember is like 700, 600 ahead of Storm, and Axe is almost double of what Slardar is at. So they definitely have the tempo going their favor, and if they manage to keep this up for the next 5-10 minutes or so, they will be in a very favorable position.
It's quite a ballsy draft came out of them, just picking their 2 cores like that. That do have room to be countered in the first phase, but it's working out for them so far.
I'm starting to believe this is a comfort picks going on. Meanwhile, there's going to be an Invis Ogre going mid. He will get the stun off, and the Searing Chains from Ember will miss. Both of them are going to be going onto the creeps. We were saying that Storm does do fairly well against Ember, but with Ember having this early of a start and Searing Chains root canceling or preventing Storm Spirit's Ball Lightning away, there is kill potential the other way around as well. And now,
yeah, I would say that Storm wins early, because he can pop the Flame Guard, but at this point, Ember has the severe advantage in this matchup.
And then, however, once it goes ultra late, I think Storm gets the advantage back, because you can just jump
once he
and
gets
kill
his, all his items up.
Yep. So it's a very back and forth matchup, and it seems like right now this is going to be approaching the point where Ember is stronger, so this does favor their squad once again. This is just a solid
Ember
draft
going
coming
Blade
out of
Mail
Rutgers.
as well.
Yeah, solid draft from Rutgers. He's not going for the Veil. Yeah, that's interesting. There's the triple Remnant and the Sleight of Fist and Searing Chains. That's going to be a kill onto the mid lane, 1-for-1. A return from Lion, but he won't be able to get a kill. And now Ember's just going to turn around and try to get a secondary kill. He will get it, and there's going to be 2 support rotations. Amplify will come up and make the tower hit kill him. That Amplify does let those last 2 tower hits deal the about 200 damage or 150 health that Ember had remaining. So they did lose 2 mid, but Slardar got a return kill using the tower, and Axe will now
The
get a...
blink reveal.
Yeah. 12-minute blink, pretty standard timing, but a very good reveal. Gets a kill on the Slardar even though he's graved up. And now that ward is going to be their next target. And the Sentry does scout it out immediately. And is Dazzle going to go for the deny? He will not, so it's just going to be a free ward there. Top lane, sorry, T-Tours, Storm Spirit, and Ice9 Faceless Void, they're just going to jump and kill Oracle. He has no real escape from that.
Chrono was committed for that though.
There was. Wow. Okay, so I guess at this point they have the Midas. They're just looking to get any sort of return pickoffs that they can, and at this point even killing a Oracle is fine because they're not looking to fight. They just want to avoid fights and get whatever they have drop in their lap. Bottom lane, Slark will be diving under the tower, trying to get his kill onto Slardar again. With his Blade Mail, he will be a little bit, there will be a little bit of hesitation from the Dire squad to kill him, and with Oracle following up, he will get away just fine. Look at this Slark now, he is almost level 12, he almost has his, what's it called? The Echo Saber now. So this Slark isn't looking for that traditional invis mobility that Slardar counters somewhat. He's just looking to kind of run at you and just fight you back.
I would say the preferred builder now in the game would just go stats first on Slark.
Is it?
Kind of goes Blade Mail, which is a bit different, but if you see BSJ nowadays, he just goes straight Sanjin Yasha on Slark. Rather than going for the Shadow Blade first.
There will be a smoke up from the Dire squad. Slardar and Lion looking for a kill onto Slark, or just anybody for that matter, but it looks like they're going to run straight into Storm Soldat. There will be a point blank hex followed by a stun, and then Lion just fingering it up. He wants the kill secure, and now they're going to have to get an escape. Axe TP's in, does get a blink call onto Slardar, and with Slark there as well, the dunk will come out, and that will be a kill onto Slardar now. Will they get the kill onto Mongoloid? They will not. Will they get the kill onto Lion? They will call him up, so Lion will also go down. That becomes a 2-for-1, the offlane and a support for a support. Meanwhile, space created, I guess. Faceless Void is going to be pressuring that top tower with a siege creep and a full creep wave. He might be getting it here considering there are already TPs committed for bottom. But Storm Soldat will, after dying, have a TP available and just go top.
Echo Saber completed for Slark.
That's a pretty quick pickup, 14 minutes considering he went full treads and a blade mail before it. This Slark is well ahead of the game, and if you look at the net worth, he is almost 1,000 or over 1,000 ahead of Void still. And he's sitting comfortably in this lane. As I say that, he does get hexed up, but he already precasted his Dark Pact. He will try to get a return kill onto Lion here, but with the TPs coming out of Storm Spirit and the other supports being in the area, they will try to save Lion. Lion will actually tick down there from the Ogre's Ignite. So it will just be a 1-for-0. Slark doesn't...
They're going back in. DD on Ember.
Slark has no fear. They will Ember Remnant and they will get a kill onto Storm as well. Now they're probably just going to go for a tower here. Meanwhile, top lane, it will be a solo kill once again for Void committing the Chrono. And bottom lane, oh my god, I'm just missing every single kill. Ember goes deep, kills the Dazzle behind the tier 2. And now tier 2 will be getting pressured. Tier 1 top, Ice9 will hopefully get, or at least try to pressure it here, considering he just committed Chrono for a solo kill and the entirety of the Dire squad is showing bottom. Or sorry, Radiant squad is showing bottom.
It's Storm Soldat creating space, baiting the Chronospheres.
Ice9 just used Time Walk to avoid a little bit of damage. There is a TP in from Oracle, and he will try to TP out. There will be a little bit of damage there, but the follow-up isn't quite enough. He will be almost killed, but not quite.
You know that the ward is on the high ground, though.
Yep. So from that, it looks like the tier 2 will be falling bottom, and I think it was 3 kills going the way of the Radiant Rutgers squad. If you look at the net worth graph, they are almost at a 10,000 net worth lead, and they are at a 7,500 experience lead. So they are hitting this timing that we were expecting them to very nicely. And with a Blink Dagger coming up next, remember, he is kind of abandoning the traditional Veil Rush, and he's going his own build. They have Blade Mails on their 2 cores who don't really pick up Blade Mails, and now they're going to be going for a 3rd Blade Mail onto Axe. This is a interesting strategy that just lets, you know, Dire side kill themselves onto the blade mails. It's just a strong run at you item.
This Storm is just not capable of fighting, and he's only 1,000 of gold above the 4th position Ogre.
A blink call miss from Axe onto Void, but they will follow it up with Storm Soul Out locking him down and Axe walking in with the call.
Oh, the bash almost saving him there.
Almost, but not quite. Yeah, he still goes down, and now with no tier 2 bottom, I'm curious why they're committing so much heavily on the bottom lane. They know Void is a top priority because he has that Midas, but they have no objectives to follow up. And meanwhile, mid, Storm is just going to be pushing their tier 1, forcing some sort of response out of the Radiant squad.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And the supports will just be walking over pretty slowly. But Radiant, I don't know if they care. They have complete control of not only their jungle, but also like the off-lane jungle from Dire's area. They have the wards up, they have the sentries up, they have the control. So I'm not really surprised the Slark is so far ahead when he has all this space in the world and all these kills too. He is 2-0-3. Top lane looks like there will be a Blink Dagger reveal from Slardar. Blink stun onto Ember Spear, amplified up. Storm jumping in as well. They will get the kill onto Ember. That Blade Mail is not going to save you now, buddy. So, Slardar gets his blink about 6 minutes after the axe. He does get the return kill, so it is nice. Ogre steals the rune from him and just walks away, but they are fine with what they got. Getting a return kill onto the enemy mid laner, who was second place in net worth before that kill, is a big deal. And especially when they're this far behind, any little thing helps.
Rutgers' squad still needs to find a way to secure the game in terms of taking all these towers.
Right.
Most notably going high ground.
They don't have the best pushing lineups. Slark doesn't particularly hit buildings well until you get those good fights with all the Essence Shift stacks. Ember Spirit, you know, you're not a right clicker, you don't hit buildings. Axe, same goes for him. Meanwhile, bottom lane, there will be a blink initiation onto the Dazzle. They will kill him with Slark as well. Now they're looking to go a little bit deeper. Slardar does blink up stun, and Slark will just blink dagger into the backlines, kill the Lion, and now they're going to be turning their attention to the Slardar. Another blink call coming up, and that's going to be a 3 for 0, and possibly this tier 2 mid. So, just as we were saying they might have trouble pushing, they get the 3 kills, they get the Essence Shift, and they have Bloodlust to kind of help out this right click, and they will get another tier 2 off of that.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Meanwhile, Ice9 farming up, pressuring the map elsewhere. He realizes he couldn't really help fight there, although he has 4 TPs.
Top tower is under attack.
4 TPs won't necessarily make you TP faster, but you'll have them almost always. I don't really expect him to be using them anytime soon, but Radiant squad is going to be going top now. The last outer tier towers are the tier 1 and tier 2 top, so Void goes instantly bottom, just starts farming up there. So look at these item builds. Oh, as I say that, there is a blink initiation onto Ember. He will walk straight into the Lion, get hexed, and killed by the Dire squad. Alright, so, like I was saying, on these heroes, we have a Ember Spirit with a Blink Blade Mail, we have a Slark with a Blink Blade Mail Echo Saber, and an Axe with a Blink Blade Mail. So there is a triple Blink Blade Mail on the side of Radiant. This is definitely not a traditional team comp or team strategy, is it?
Blade Mail Gaming? They're not playing against any heroes that Blade Mail does significantly well against.
Right.
Storm would be the biggest hero that would do a lot of damage to himself.
Bottom lane, it looks like they will be going for a kill onto Axe, who has come to bottom lane alone. There will be a blink initiation from Slardar, followed by a a corrosive haze. Ice9 almost killing himself onto the call Blade Mail, and they're not going to commit the Chrono for it. They're going to back out once they see those other TPs rotate in. And now that he has his Manta finished up, he might go back in. They do manage a finger down and kill Axe. However, they lose Slardar, they lose Dazzle, they lose Lion. He will commit the Chrono, they will get Ember in return, but now he has to run. Slark cleaning up the back lines, and GBPS, he has enough mana to get away. End of the day, Chrono committed, 4 for 2, definitely still in favor of the Radiant squad. And they didn't even get the tower. So tier 1 top was taken, but tier 1 bottom still sitting almost at full health, and now they're just pinging out top lane. Slark didn't get too much Essence Shift from it, but he's still looking to hunt now. He's approaching a Scotty, he is far ahead on net worth, despite going up against a Midas on the Void, he is leading. This is a tough situation for the Tulsa team to be up against.
He switched up his item build a bit here, deciding to go for Lincolns rather than that Scotty.
Alright, that's pretty understandable. They have the Blink Hex from Lion. They have the Blink Initiation, I guess, from Slardar as well, having the Blink Stomp and then Amplify. So having anything to kind of keep him alive a little bit longer to get off his Dark Pact and Ultimate will be a pretty big deal. And he has no issues with damage right now. Despite not having really any right-click item other than Echo Saber, he deals plenty. So with that, they're going to look to get the last tier 2 tower. They know Void's Chrono is still down for at least a little bit, so after this, Shrines will be the next target. Most likely a Roshan attempt soon in order to push high ground, but they've already surprised me once with this Blink Blade Mail build on everybody, so they might surprise me again.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Initiation here from Ember Spirit onto Ice 9, but he will just Manta off the chains and TP out.
Ember having to disable for both Storm and Void, forcing them to these defensive items, the Manta as well as the Yules.
Alright, well here is a Rosh Rush before taking the Shrines, a little bit untraditional, and that could catch off the Dire by surprise. Typically, you're not going to go for the Roshan play until those Shrines are down, because it's a little bit less safe. But no contest coming out of Dire, out of the
They'll get
Tulsa.
scanned though.
And even if they want to contest, it's too late. It is in the bag. It will look like a Slark Aegis because he made a slot for it. Ember is going to be going for a Radiance next. On the Courier, he has his bots, I presume it is. So these builds, very out of order, very kind of scrambled and, you know, disorienting.
That's not the craziest build
They
I've
work.
seen from him.
Yeah, but it's working.
I believe Jayo, this is Jayo's build. He goes for Blade Mail over the
Radiant's bottom tower
Veil.
is under attack.
Or sometimes he gets both even, but
Well, with that, Ember's just going to put a Remnant down, go defend the bottom tier 1, and now it looks like it will be a high ground attempt from Rutgers with Slark in the front line. Slark actually didn't go for the Aegis, it was that Ember Spirit in the end. And I guess they feel that Slark has the save from Oracle. If you just Oracle and then Shadow Dance, you will heal up pretty much to full health. Blink dodges from that Ice 9 initiation. He didn't whiff the Chrono, thankfully. He did expect some sort of response from them and giving the enemies the respect they deserve. But as I say that, there is the Blink initiation and an instant follow-up from the Oracle as we expected. Storm jumping into the back line, but will get called up by Axe. He will barely get away, but Lion will go down. Ember Spirit and Slark going deep. They will get the one. They're trying to get more, but with that Shrine being activated, they will not get it. Axe on the bottom. It looks like Slarda was using that bottom Shrine and will get dunked down. And now that will be Void going down as well. Once again, this Axe just doing great amount of work. Slardar trying to get some sort of response. Blink stuns and misses it. He will be instantly counter-initiated and dunked down. That is 4 going down now. Buyback used on Slardar and instantly died. Storm will barely get away here. He will be going deep from the Slark and will get the kill. So that is now 4 dead, buyback used, 5 dead, buyback used. A triple kill and a double kill onto Rutgers, and that will be GG being called.
he didn't use Shadow Dance the entire fight.
Incredible fight from Rutgers. Incredible performance with this just team synergy, team comp. It looks like they were all on the same page that entire time, and I guess this goes to show why we thought they were one of the best teams at the time. And despite that
Slark
first loss,
Slark skipping that Shadow Blade for the Blade Mail.
Slark no Shadow Blade, Ember no Veil, non-traditional builds, but they work. So I guess that's all that matters at the end of the day. A 30-11 victory, 25 minutes. Incredible showing. We will be starting up Game 3 very shortly. Thanks for watching, everybody. Or Game 2, sorry. That was Game 1. Rutgers winning 1-0. Game 2 will be starting up shortly. Thanks for watching. And we will give you a word from our sponsors right before we go.